And what education level are you at?
I actually, here's what's going on. I'm working on my ATM,
Okay.
but I don't take my manual with me to take credit. I like giving speeches, so I've given over 150 speeches, but I don't take credit because I enjoy giving speeches. It's not about the certificate, it's more about my satisfaction. And I do stand-up comedy in clubs, and so this gives me a chance to work on new material, and I'm very thankful to Toastmasters because I'm forced to develop clean material. Because when you go to open mics and comedy clubs, it's very easy to make something funny because you use a cuss word here, cuss word there. Like you listen to Comedy Central and it's all beeped up. Beep, beep, beep. You can't even understand what they're saying. So this forces me to develop good, clean material and also, develop good comedic material.
Besides good comedic material, what else brought you to Toastmasters?
I always wanted to be a public speaker. I was very scared. Before 2002, I was petrified to even speak in front of 5 people. Very shy, and Toastmasters is such a wonderful, I cannot sing enough praises. I think it's such a wonderful gift that we all have, that it's such a inexpensive way to develop such an awesome skill. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine makes fun of me and says, "You're such a sissy. At lunchtime you go give a speech. Why don't you come work out with me? Look, I could break 15 bricks with one blow of hand, with one hand." I'm thinking, how could you ever use that skill? When would you ever use that skill in real life? Hey, see that crack on the side of the monument? I did it.
There you go. There you go.
Or see the scar on my wife's face? I mean, you could never use that skill. Whereas in public speaking, you're using that all the time.
Yes, you are.
Even when I'm asleep, my wife tells me that I don't use any ums and ahs now. Any other question that anybody has?
Oh, where do you work?
I work for the federal government.
Okay.
What department?
Yeah.
Department of Treasury.
Treasury. Okay. Do you find that Toastmasters, what you've learned in Toastmasters, has helped you out at work?
Absolutely. It helps me 24 hours a day. It's so wonderful. Again, besides getting out of the tickets, it helps you in every which way, because you're constantly talking, you're constantly negotiating with people, you're constantly communicating and selling your ideas, and when you speak eloquently and with confidence, you're much more trustworthy.
Sure. I have to agree with that. I found myself able to get up in front of a crowd and talk. I often have to give briefings, and everyone turns to me, "Get Jim up there," because he knows how to talk. Okay. How are we doing our time?
30 seconds.
Okay. What's your, if you could pick one speech that you have given, what was your favorite speech?
I gave a speech which won me several awards at the division level. It was called "Ever Since I Became a Toastmaster." And it was a speech about how I used to be so shy, and now when I meet somebody on the red light or something, I start a table topic, So that would be my favorite speech, and it won me a lot of trophies. I've got over 7 trophies at the division level and district level, so I was very glad. And now I don't compete at division and district level because I feel like other people should have a chance.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you very much for your time.
Very welcome.
Any distinguished Toastmasters, and particularly Toastmasters Singh. I don't know if you're a distinguished Toastmaster, but I would think that someday, that speaking ability, you're going to be a distinguished Toastmaster if you're not already. When you came in and you started speaking, you owned the room. When you made eye contact with everyone and you just showed great confidence, you just dispensed with the podium and you showed that you owned the territory. Now, you had a great use of props. What I really wish I had is I wish I had my own cell phone here, so I could call you up and get your undivided attention. You had a great lead-in when you talked about the cell phone-itis, and you tried to make people guess what was the dreaded disease that you suffered from. And the one thing that I think that you might do better, besides talking, I was expecting you to go into some sort of lawsuit that you're going to charge the phone companies for, is you might be at times a little bit more serious if you actually want people to take your tips. Because there might be some point in time where you want to pause and talk about people dying, or people, if you drive drunk, you kill people. If you drive and you're not paying attention to what happens, you may kill someone too. And so you always want to be careful when you're driving. So there might be one time when you want to take a time out and tell people you're serious about this, because it looks like you actually, you told the judge something to get out of a ticket, but then you had your moment of contrition when you actually developed a whole speech and you are doing your public service when you get up and speak. So I would like to say that you had, when you used your props, you took out that prop and you didn't have a stand for it. So if you had a stand, you could point to it. You wouldn't just have to wave it about. I don't know if it's allowed, but you might always have a second person be your van of white for it. And so that's a possibility. And the other thing you might just want to talk about is when you bring out your old cheap. You said it was cheap. I'm not saying it was cheap because, but you talked about your connection so that it would be hands-free. You might want to throw in the word Bluetooth, because I know that's popular among a lot of people, where I think people are not really talking to anyone, they're just talking to themselves, and it turns out they were talking with a Bluetooth, and that might be convenient for a car. Really, I love that speech, and I just am grateful I had the opportunity to listen to it. Thank you very much.
That it's more dangerous to use a telephone driving on the road than drinking. And I find that's true. So my theory is most Americans don't know how to drive in the first place. So it's not really the phone that's the problem, that's just another distraction. So, because that's how we get a license, right? We drive around the block, we parallel park once, pay $15, and then we try to never have to parallel park again. And now we have phones. I found the speech was important. The acronym is great. And I wrote it down, I'm probably going to hang on to that. And I've never seen it before, so I'll give you credit for having invented it. But some of the things I got out of the speech was, one, you ever have people walking around all the time with a cordless phone? They're talking into it. So now we're at the point that we see people walking up down the street talking, we don't know who's crazy.